Hello and welcome to this edition of Minstrels on the Block, where we bring you the finest singer-songwriters in the Valley area. This week's special guest is Mr. Michael Keith Stewart. Keith?
How you doing, Ron?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Thanks for having me on your show.
Thanks for being here, man. So tell me about yourself. Where were you born?
I'm born in Phoenix City, Alabama. I'm originally from here. Matter of fact, Cobb Hospital down the road. The other day I rode by there and I seen where they're tearing it down.
Oh.
So I'm originally born and raised here all my life. You want to fight about it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm from Phoenix City, went to Central High School, so all my roots here and family. I tell you what, it's a God's country. I really love it around here. You know, I've been around, the whole United States, and I tell you what, it's really the small hometown feel of the Phoenix City is just, you can't beat it.
Oh yeah, Phoenix City's awesome.
It's really, I think everybody around here gets along good, and just, I mean, they're the nicest people in the world.
I agree completely. So what did your parents do?
My dad, now he listened to music. Growing up, he had, an old record collection, and I checked it out, a bunch of old stuff, the old 70s, Skinner, Love Skinner, and Charlie Daniels. I grew up listening to all that. Now, he played the radio. Now, he wasn't one that, played any music or any instrument, but he had a great feel for music. Now, my mother, she sings in the choir, and has been singing. She plays the piano, and I guess that's where I got, more of my music, talent from her, per se. But, I grew up listening to, back in the 70s, like Skinner and the Outlaws and all the Southern rock stuff, and then the old country and Willie and Waylon, and I love the outlaw stuff, and so I kind of grew up listening to that, and then, and back in the 80s, listening to a bunch of hair band stuff. Yeah. Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses. I was always, into that, and I love rock and roll everybody. Matter of fact, back when I had hair, I had a mullet.
Nice. Awesome.
So, I think we all did. The Trans Ams, the Camaros, everybody goes through that phase back, well, if you grew up in the 80s. And so I listened to all that, and then, transition as I started listening to country probably more, back in the early 90s. Garth and Alan Jackson and, Travis Tritt, love Travis Tritt stuff. And kind of went involved in that, started, picked up a guitar and started playing here and there, and learning how to play, and then played a couple bands, Plain Ugly was our first band.
Nice.
Got David Peterson, Big Bo. I don't know if you do. Jeff Harrelson, Big Bo, plays the Boneheads. He's and then Mark Grimes, and we played around town, a Plain Ugly band, and kind of then we got with some other guys and played. It's through the years, and kind of went to that, and then started doing a little writing here and there, and then playing some solo stuff, and it just kind of evolved, into that. And I, like I said, I really enjoy playing music, and really, kind of, started doing some solo stuff, and then started playing with bands, and, so I do a little bit of, both, and, writing and whatever.
So tell me, what was your first, what sparked your first desire to actually write? Because, we all play the guitar, and we're like playing, Springsteen or whatever, and we're like, I think I can come up with my own words. So what sparked it?
I've always had something in like the back of my head, even like, for the last 20 years, something always is, whatever it just, and some friends of mine, I tell you, if you're somewhere and somebody say something funny or something relating to, a song or something, that's a good little hook, or, so it's always kind of been in there in the back of my mind, and, one day I just kind of, sat down and I got the guitar and, played a couple chords, and had some lyrics in my head and a couple song ideas, and wrote them down, and I, just getting everything together. It wasn't where I could, putting everything together was the hard part for me. Right. So some friends of mine said they got that National Songwriters International over there, Norma Christie, and I met her and Doug Cox, and when we started, they helped me kind of develop. And then I went to the Songporium up in Nashville, and went to school, and kind of showed you how to put everything back together. And then it was like, then I wrote, after that probably 10 or 15 songs, and then just, putting the structure together was my problem. I had the music in my head, but just putting the structure together and everything like that was the part that, you know, I'm starting to develop now.
Give you a little focus as to get the things out of your head and onto paper.
Oh, yeah.
In a way. Now, what is, say, your inspiration for writing? What's your muse?
Well, it's depending. Sometimes I'm, you know, get very, you know, I've got like a bunch of like hooks and stuff like that I'll write down, and I'll go back and, I mean, you'll do the same thing. I mean, anybody that writes, you know, say, hey, that's a pretty good idea for a song.
Yeah.
You might not have the time right then, you know, you might ride down the road and something, you know, very inspirational. And then I've wrote some songs, and, you know, you have your 10-minute songs that you write. You know, it's like, you know, you'll write a song and everything will come, you know, a song that I wrote about my grandfather on his birthday. I was driving across the pond at my house and just kind of looked over the water and thought about me and him fishing, you know, and what I'd do to go fishing with you again. And I stopped at the other side of the pond, got a piece of, got a bill out of the console there and the pins, you know, wrote it on the, you know, on the back
Bills
of the
are
envelope.
good for something.
I was going to throw it away, but, and so anyway, I wrote it on the back, and then by the time, you know, that I got, you know, time I got to work and all, you know, I had pretty much, you know, everything in my head, and, you know, I had everything together. So you have your 10-minute songs that you can put together where everything just works, where the Lord just working with you. Hey, just feeding you lines, and, you know, you have everything working towards that. And then, you know, sometimes that, you know, you'll do rewrites, and I've got 4 or 5 songs that I've done rewrites on, you know, a dozen times, you know, and I don't like it like that, and you'll put it like, you know, another, and then, you know, well, maybe I like it like that. So, I mean, you know, it's some songs come to me just natural and everything, and just say, boom, it's done, and you really like it. And then some other songs, you know, you just have to fine tune. And then, you know, if you're selling a song as an artist or something like that, you know, they're going to put their little intake on stuff like that, and how that's, and you know, worded and everything like that. So, and then I've got some songs that I've wrote, some funny songs. You know, I've got probably about a half a dozen of those. You know, it's funny stuff comes to me. I wrote a song, and I was in the line at the Church's Chicken, and a buddy of mine was telling me about this guy that he knew, and the girl had got a bunch of work done to her, and she done left him. And so it's called Just When I Got Her Fixed Up, That's When She Left Me.
Awesome.
So it was one of them, and that was one of them 10-minute. I'm letting that in line, you know, in the line at the Chick-fil-A. I'm like, man. So I walked back outside, got another bill, and erased this one out, and it came out, you know, just like that. So
that's awesome.
You know, and then, so, I mean, I've got some that's more to the heart. I got a song that I'm going to play today, Honky Tonk Suicide. I had a song idea and wrote it down, and I was on the back steps of the Ryman up in Nashville, and on the steps, and I'm sitting there, and a couple of homeless guys out there. I got my guitar, and I'm trying to write, and a couple of homeless guys walked by, and they said, hey, man, if you'll play on the other side of the road over here, you'll probably get some tips in there. Nobody ever comes by here tipping. I said, I'm just doing some writing right now, but I appreciate it. He said, well, I just want to let you know if you want to get a beer. That's a good place down here. So I started laughing, and I put the song together, and they were just a few other little lines, you know, I needed. And I was sitting there, and I was like, come on, Hank, I need a couple of real strong lines here, you know. And it was just a story about Hank Sr. And I left Nashville, and I came back, and I went to the, in Montgomery, I went to the grave there, and got a 6-pack, and sit there and pop a beer, and sit there and played the song for it. And when I got through, it was so eerie that it was like a train. It just, from the other side, you know, it just, you know, it was like you could hear it whistle.
Nice.
And it just, like, one time it whistled, and it went away.
Wow.
And so, I mean, it was some of that, you know, like I said, some of the stuff that I get inspiration on some songs, and, you know, that means a lot, you know. And then you have your breakup songs, and you have your drinking buddy songs, and where you're doing stuff like that. So, you know, I mean, it's just depending on, sometimes you're inspired by this, you know, or inspired by that. Just, you know, I don't have just one, I guess, genre where I just play, you know, a certain type of music.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, let's check out some of Keith's music, and we'll be right back with the most important question of the show.
This is Panama City Bound. were Panama City bound. Cruising the strip, hollering the girls out of the car, partying all night at Miss Newby's bar. We're in Panama City now. Looking back at pictures all the time we had, drinking cold beer, shots of brandy, partying all night to the break of dawn. Man, I can't tell you how we made it home. We made it somehow. Think of Panama City now. All grown up, 2 kids and his wife. Still think about that party in life. Think of Panama City now. Old buddies done stopped by the house. We loaded down the cruise when we hit his side. We were Panama City fine. Down at the Villa, the bikini contest. Can't tell you the one we like to be. And that's Panama City now. Looking back at pictures all the time we had, falling cold beer, shots of granddad, partying all night to the break of dawn. Man, I can't tell you how we made it home. We made it somehow. Think of Panama City now. Looking back at pictures all the time we had, falling cold beer, shots of granddad, partying all night to the break of dawn. Man, I can't tell you how we made it home. We looked around and said, wow, we're in Panama City now.
Hello and welcome back to this edition of Minstrels on the Block. Special guest, Michael Keith Stewart. So Keith, this is the most important question of the show, and this is the question that starts wars and creates earthquakes and rocks civilizations. Elvis of the Beatles.
I have to go Elvis.
I have to go Elvis. Oh,
Southern boy, which I've always loved Elvis. You know, he's up there with Batman and Superman as superheroes, you know.
damn right.
You know what I mean? Which, don't get me wrong, you know, Beatles, the other side of the pond.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I like their music, don't get me wrong. I like, you know, a lot of stuff that Beatles did, but it's just Elvis had that Southern boy charm.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I mean, you know, he had it sing, good looking. He had the girls. I mean, who wouldn't want to be Elvis?
Exactly. The
was
Beatles
just-
wanted to be Elvis.
Matter of fact, I remember the day that Elvis died in '77. I was riding my bicycle. I was probably 5 or 6 years old, riding my bicycle in the yard, and my mother comes out, and she gets out of the car, and she's just holding her face, and she's crying, screaming. So I run in there, and I'm like, Mommy, what's wrong? And she's sitting there, my grandfather's in there, and she said, Elvis died, Elvis just died. And I'm like, oh, Elvis just died. Oh, God, you know, and I mean, because she had been to Elvis concerts, big Elvis fan, you know, had posters of Elvis, you know, in the house, and, you know, played all Elvis records, and, you know, it was like, man, and I can remember to this day, what I was doing when Elvis died. I guess everybody basically can.
Yeah.
But she was a big inspiration to the music that, you know, that I play, you know, kind of, you know, put me in, you know, helping me out with, turning me on to music. She was
Yeah.
always a big fan of music, and her and one of her friends was going to go to a Conway Twitty concert, and one of her friends had to work, so she couldn't make it. And she had extra tickets like 5 o'clock. She's like, "Well, come on, we'll go to Conway Twitty." We was at the old Municipal Auditorium where the little side. We was on the side on the first little tier there, looking down at Conway Twitty, and the lights come out, and he's like, "Hello, darling. Nice to see you." And all of a sudden the lights come on, man, and there's 10,000 women hollering and throwing flowers down at Conway's feet and everything. I went home and threw all my Batman stuff away. I said, "Conway Twitty is my new hero." I said, "This guy knows what to do." And I was so amazed. I was maybe 9 or 10 years old, and it was just. That was, and I'd listen. It was when tight fitting jeans came out, and they was throwing women apparel up on the stage, and it was a very neat concert, especially very mind blowing for a 10-year-old. So it was very good. I really liked. And then I've always Conway, I've always liked his music, which he lived here in Smith Station for a while too. Graduated Smith Station High School.
No, that's what I'm talking about. So tell me a little bit about, going forward a little bit, what are some of the things that you have going on today?
Well, I've got some original songs that I'm working on right now. I was trying to, I want to do a CD.
All right.
Just like a little demo CD, and then I want to have my own CD, but all my songs are for sale, if anybody's interested. But I'd like to do a little demo CD, and then if nothing else, you got something to give your grandkids, and say, listen to Pawpaw, he was crazy back when he was young, and so you got something that you leave, and a legacy, and something, that you left some music here, and so I'm trying to work on that CD now. A friend of mine just moved to Nashville, and I'm gonna go up there in a couple weeks and just kind of scout around. I'm looking to do some studio stuff right now. I don't know, trying to get with somebody, and I've got some stuff that I need help with on structure, and then and everything like that. So, a good producer or something, to put some of them songs together.
Right.
Looking more towards it, and I would like to get everything like the CD put together, and then I got probably about 10 songs that, I think that I feel that's pretty good songs that mean a lot to me that I wrote. And then, I like to put them together. And I like to do some demos. I've got, like that song I said, just when I got her fixed up.
Yeah.
That's when she left me. I sung that song for Tim Wilson over there, and he said Rodney Carrington was trying to put a little CD together. So I like to, put some of them demos of some of the funnier stuff and, kind of get it out there. You never know. You might sell one, you might not ever sell one.
Right,
It's just a tough market. But I'm not really trying to stream for like being famous or trying to, sell a song or, I enjoy doing it, and it is what it is, and people like it, and play a little band called Double Wide, Heath Williamson, Big Heath, and it was Zach Gamble and Kyle Hussey. And we play around town, and it's got Double Wide, it's D-U-B-B-A. And it's like me and Heath, it's kind of funny, two big guys sitting there. So it's kind of a redneck, kind of funny stuff. And we're trying to, me and him had done some writing together. It's kind of be like a hybrid, like a Colt Ford, Hank Jr. type, vibe. And so, that's what I'm striving for. Hopefully this year that, I can have something, a CD out.
Really cool stuff, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. I really enjoy it,
Well, looking forward into the future, the ultra worn out question that everybody always asks is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? But I like to streamline it a little bit and just say, what are your hopes for the future? What would you like to? Where would you like to see it? Good goal. Either alive or extremely famous.
I would love to be famous.
Preferably both of them.
Yeah.
But what's your eventual goal?
I'm just day to day, I just let the Lord guide me and direct me, and I just, I get up in the morning and tell the Lord thank you, and at night pray, and, if I, die tonight, take me with you.
Yeah.
But, so I'm just, my eventual goal is I would love to have, a CD together by this year, and then then something, you know, maybe a publisher or something to, you know, help me pitch, you know, a few other songs. And then, you know, and I've got some other things. And then maybe, you know, get some there, what you got in your catalog, you know. So I've got some songs. I mean, like I said, I've got some, you know, heart-wrenching, broken home songs. I've got, you know, beer-drinking, dirt road songs. And then I've got some comedy stuff. So, I mean, I've got, you know, I've got a lot of different, you know, styles of music that I play. And then, you know, I'd like to get with somebody and start writing as well, you know. And, you know, I'd like to go up to Nashville and, you know, kind of look around. And, I mean, you learn so much up there. There's so many talented musicians. And, you know, maybe, you know, go to some more writing schools and, you know, help me with my craft.
Right, yeah.
So in 5 years, you know, I'd like to sell a song within 5 years. And, you know, and nothing else, you know, I like, you know, writing. And that's my ultimate goal. I would love just to, you know, maybe have 1 or 2 songs that, you know, that was on somebody's album. Even if, you know, it was just on the album, you know, maybe just, you know, maybe, you know, a few radio plays or whatever. You know, I would just like to get some of the things I got, you know, heard out there.
Well, I think that is a very reasonable and obtainable goal. To sell a song in 5 years. I personally hope you sell at least 5 songs in 5 years.
Yeah, that'd be great. I wouldn't do nothing but fish.
That's it. You live off the residuals and ride around your 300 acres in your truck and go fishing.
Yeah.
Sounds actually
just
pretty
keep
nice.
writing.
Keep writing.
A lot of guys up there do that kind of stuff.
Before we go to the, excuse me, before we go to Keith's next song, it's time for the list. We needed some kind of like, oh, or something. Let's just say you're walking around the house on a Saturday afternoon, or whatever day is your Saturday, and you're picking up the trash from the party from the night before or whatever. What are you most likely to be listening to today on your wax cylinder, 78, 33, 45, cassette tape, 8-track, CD, or otherwise MP3 delivering device?
What kind of, it's hard to say, you know. Sometimes, I mean, Jamie Johnson is one of my favorites. Now, I love Jamie Johnson's, you know, stuff and all his stuff, and then he's got some stuff on the dollar, and, you know, I don't think he gets the radio play that, you know, some of his music, which, I mean, I really like. Zach Brown, you know, I listen to Kid Rock, old Hank, you know, my CD player right now when I was down in Florida. I'm riding around with Hank Jr.'s greatest hits, you know.
Nice.
You know, all my rowdy friends settle down. You know?
That's a good song.
You know, so I mean, you know, I listen to stuff like that, you know, and then you know, I might listen to Harlem Shake. You know, I don't really, if it sounds good, I listen to it.
Yeah.
Just like people with music, with a musical ear, you know, if it, you know what sounds good. Whether, you know, it might be Jay-Z or Beyonce or something like that. You know, I love Alicia Keys. You know, people are like, man, I can't believe Old Country Boy, you know, listen to Alicia Keys. But I mean, it's great. You know, Pink. You know, I listen to a lot of that type stuff, and it kind of helps me in developing. Gets you more out of the box. Than thinking, you know, just. More of the country roots and everything like that, because I mean there's a whole, you know, and Bob Marley stuff, you know, I like, you know, a lot of that stuff. I fell asleep last night. Ziggy Marley was on Jimmy Kimmel, but I didn't make it. I had to get up here, so. Hey. But you know, I like, you know, just different styles of music.
Very cool, and you know, it's about the song, not the name behind it.
Yeah.
Let's check out one of Keith's songs, and we'll be right back after this for the pimping section.
This is Honky Tonk Suicide. It all started when she left and broke his heart. It's when he started drinking down at the bar. He ended up in the parking lot in the backseat of his car. Man, I can't tell you how he's made it this far. Get up in the morning with with a ringing in his head. Man, he's late for work 'cause he can't get out of bed. And needs to make a dollar 'cause he ain't got a dime. Drank all his money up trying to have a good time. But honky-tonk life, it got harder every day. Staying out all night, dragging his life away. But the feeling inside, he couldn't deal with the pain. A honky-tonk life, it's honky-tonk suicide. Last time I spoke to him, we talked about AA. He never made a meeting, he kept drinking every day. Opened up the paper and his name was on the page. Last time I seen him, 6 men carried him away. 'Cause honky-tonk life, it got harder every day. Staying out all night, he drank his whole life away. But the feeling inside, he couldn't deal with the pain. But honky-tonk life was honky-tonk suicide. Honky-tonk suicide. Honky-tonk suicide. Honky-tonk suicide. Honky-tonk suicide. Honky-tonk suicide.
Hello and welcome back to this edition of Minstrels on the Block. Special guest, Michael Keith Stewart. So, Keith, this is the part of the show where we pimp stuff. This is the pimping section of the show, the shameless self-promotion. So, what do you got that you want everybody to know about?
Oh, man. I'm scared. My mama's going to be watching.
Are we torn?
And her preacher. Just
what
as
do you got
far
that you
as
want almost everybody to know?
I'm a big Alabama fan. I mean, I think everybody knows that. Roll Tide. You got it, you know.
Kind of giving away by your hat.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people said. You might have some Auburn folks, Georgia folks might not watch it, but you know, it is what it is. I like all SEC teams, you know. So You know, I hate to say this, but I did pull for Auburn when they won the national championship.
Awesome.
You know, we've had the crown for 4 years in the state of Alabama, so you can't complain about that. You know, so when you got a crystal ball, you know. So I mean, just different. You know, there's different stuff. You know, I play around town like in, you know, a little band. It's called Double Y. We play at Max's, Dale Ranch, play, you know, downtown, and really enjoy playing music. I mean, that's kind of a stress relief for me.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
Therapy.
Oh, yeah. You don't need any kind of Zoloft or Wellabutrin if you got a guitar.
Right.
You know, that's, but, you know, there's nothing like, and I like a big bonfire and just, you know, have a bunch of friends out in trucks and, you know, have 3 or 4 guitars, a couple people that play and, you know, pass the guitar around.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's singing, you know, or down at the beach, you know, when everybody's singing. That's a lot of fun to me.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that kind of stuff. You know, just, you know, the fellowship with friends and, you know, and everything like that. So, I mean, that means a lot, you know, and I've got a lot of friends out there and, you know, and I never, you know, I meet a friend every day, you know, and, you know, I treat people like I want to be treated and, you know, got a good relationship with God and everything. And, but, you know, sometimes, you know, you kind of, things, you know, kind of wind up and you kind of question, you know, how did this happen? Or, you know, sometimes you feel like you got more on your plate than, you know, that you can handle. Yeah. But, you know, with a little prayer and a little strength, you know, everything just kind of seems like it works itself out. Yeah. So, I mean, that's about it. I'm kind of a basic guy, you know. I'd put on Facebook. I was down there at my father's house. He lives down in St. Petersburg, and I was down there last week, and we went to the casino, and we got stuck in traffic. And there was an accident on the road, and we were stuck in traffic like 10 minutes. And, I mean, it was just bumper to bumper, you know. And I took a picture of it, and I put on, where's all the good dirt roads around here when you need them, you know. And got a lot of responses out of that. It's kind of funny, you know. But you know, I love the southern living. You know, country boy, true and true. I lived out in Bleecker, Alabama for 14 years, and I mean that's just the country roots is where you know.
Dirt roads, sweet tea, and fried chicken.
You can't beat it.
No, cannot. Oh, and a stream with a bridge over it.
Yeah, mother's love. There you go.
Now, for a couple of questions I'd like to ask. What, from your perspective, what is your take? What do you think of? What is your perception of the local music scene in the Valley?
Oh, I like, you know, there's a lot of talent here in Columbus. You know, I mean, a lot of talent in Columbus, and you know, and I love going out to the open mics and you know watching them guys, Henry Conley and them guys are great, you know. Yeah, fantastic. And you know, like Will Dockery, I always said he's a hybrid, you know. He's a Joe Cocker and Bob Dylan. You know, if they ever had a grandson. You know, and some of them guys, they're so funny and you know, Sandy and Randy and Darlene, you know, they help me out. And, you know, we used to go to open mics all the time, and it's just so funny. Wally Montgomery, he is great, you know, and I had the pleasure, you know, played down at the bank, the Iron Bank down there, and we went down there and did a little thing with him, and he's really good. Oh yeah, and, fantastic. A really good guy. But you know, there's a lot of good, musicians around. There's another guy, Blaine Rudd. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's from Opelika. And he's I'd like to, talk to y'all about maybe getting him on this show. He's really good, Blaine Rudd. And, he was a young guy. When we used to play in a band, him and his father used to come out there and, they come out to practice. And now he's done got him a little CD together. He's a really good musician. Nice. And, but I mean, there's a lot of talent, sometimes, Stan and Marcia. I mean, I tell you what, no doubt, Stan is, and it's he's a good guy. Yeah, and but I mean, he can play anything. Mm-hmm. And I tell you, like Justin Ballou, I mean, he's great. Yeah. I mean, just talented. But I mean, there's a lot of really, really talented folks here in Columbus.
Now for part two of that question, How do you think the local music scene in the Valley area could be improved? What do you think it needs?
You know, I'll tell you, karaoke's kind of took away from a lot of local musicians. You know, and you'll go to some karaoke and you know who I'm talking about out there in TV land. There's some really, really bad singers. And they'll go in there and they'll get on a Friday night and they'll be decked out and, you know, they're doing their best Elvis impersonation. And see, I think karaoke kind of took a lot away from some local, you know, like live music.
Yeah.
And, you know, and they have fun doing it. You know, there's some places around, you know, like Greer's down there, you know, that does, you know, that has, you know, they have good karaoke. But there's some places, you know, you're wondering, you know, really? And, no, really. And, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, I think the venue in Columbus, you know, downtown, the live music scene, you know, it's really, really good. I'd like to see maybe a couple more country, you know, places. And then David McBride's got a place, you know, Buck Wild, that's going to be opening up
next week.
And so, I mean, it's a really nice place inside. David's a good friend of mine as well. But, you know, I'd like to see more of that kind of stuff, you know, a place where they have live music. And he's going to have a real nice PA setup, you know, in there and everything. So, you know, a couple other little places like that. But like I said, some places, you know, that just got away from live music. They just kind of did the karaoke.
Yeah.
And, you know.
An extremely cheap alternative that involves the crowd.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is. I mean, but you go to like Nashville. When I went to Florida down there, they was, you know, we went to a little place and they had karaoke, and there was some pretty good singers in there, you know. But some places you go and you're like, man, you know, I wish I'd went to the dentist. You know, I'd rather have a couple of teeth pulled and listen to some of that. But you know, and they know who I'm talking about. The reason I say it like that, because I'm gonna have some friends of mine or some people watch this and they're gonna say, man, I can't believe he was on TV talking about me. Well, I did. So, but you know, like I said, I think that, you know, some more live music. You gonna have Lonnie Smith on here? Lonnie Smith's a good friend of mine, and
we're in the process of
so he's really good. He does a good live show, you know, and but I mean, there's some really good musicians out there. Guy Mike Funk, you know Mike Funk. I guess everybody knows Mike Funk, and I mean, he's a really, really good guy, and he's got some stuff, and one of the best guitar players I've ever heard, you know, and you know, but he don't do a lot of playing out here and there, you know, per se. But I mean, there's really a lot of, you know, good musicians around, in, you know, in this town. So,
building on those questions, and this is usually the show closer, but what advice would you give to aspiring musicians or artists of any kind? You know, people watching the show, maybe they haven't quite got out into the market yet, or the field, haven't played out in front of people. Maybe they have, maybe they're working on it. What advice would you give to aspiring musicians watching the show?
I would say keep your mind open. Don't look too much in the box, you know, don't stay in the box. Listen to different style music. You know, 10 years ago, like Colt Ford, you know, doing rap and, you know, country, and having that country vibe, and that, you know, who would have said that would have worked, you know? So, I mean, you know, and then if you listen to a lot of Aldine stuff now, and a lot of, you know, country, sounds more like, you know, the 70s rock, or, you know, it's kind of, you know, the rock and roll stuff, you know, it's got, you know, it's not the, you know, 145, just, you know, dog done ran off, old lady done left, and I'm finna get drunk, you know, it's not all that. So, I mean, it's more, you know, and so I would keep it, you know, keep open, and just come up with your own style and your own voice and your own, be yourself, you know, and then, you know, I think that's what a lot of people try to put themselves in, just like one category, you know, instead of say, hey, you know, I'm Michael Key Stewart, that's who I am. You know what I'm saying? You like me, and, you know, you don't. I mean, there's millions of people out there that play and sing, you know. But I just say keep it real, keep it to yourself, stay with your roots. You know, have a strong relationship with God, and just every day, try to learn something else. Either listen to some kind of other style of music, because you pick up pointers. I mean, whether it's hard rock, rap, country, gospel, everything. You can always learn something.
Yeah.
And stay positive and stay focused. Just keep drama and negativity out of And if somebody beats you down and says, hey, that didn't sound good, or I really didn't like that, you might have 10 people on the other side that liked it.
Yeah.
So, don't just, take the criticism, take it as constructive criticism, to say, hey, man, maybe I need to change this around. But, stay, focused to, at the end of the day, I mean, stay true to yourself.
Right.
Don't sell out to nothing else, and just, stay focused and true to yourself. I think that's the biggest thing that people kind of tend to, they're not really sure if they want to be, a rock or rap, or they want to be country, or they don't have their self, and, they're trying to put themselves in a category.
Yeah.
Be yourself, and then, then let everybody else category.
There you go. Let everybody else categorize yourself.
Yeah. So I mean that's what I would say, and then just keep swinging the bat, because eventually you're gonna hit the ball.
Exactly.
You might not hit it out of the park, you might hit it foul, but you keep swinging the bat, you're finally gonna hit the ball. So,
it's called the law of averages.
Exactly. So a guy hits 300 1 out of 3. He'll be in the Hall of Fame, So, just keep work the law of averages and keep swinging the bat.
So, Keith, where can people get a hold of you?
All right. I'm on Facebook, Michael Keith Stewart on Facebook. Just friend me, and, and then we'll kind of go. And I got all my contact information on Facebook. That's all I'm working on. I'm trying to work out a website and stuff like that, so it's coming. But I think the whole world's on Facebook.
Yeah.
I think the new Pope is on Facebook. So anyway, if anybody wants to contact me, just friend me on Facebook and get all the information. Or if you want to book a party, or weddings, anything but a funeral.
Yeah.
But anyway, just Facebook. That's the best way. Michael Keith Stewart.
Michael Keith Stewart.
Just friend me on Facebook.
Well, Keith, I appreciate you coming on the show.
All right, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Keith Stewart, a very entertaining and informative interview. I had a blast, and I hope you did too. We'll see you next time on Minstrels on the Block, only on CTV EA.
Down in the country. Well, the party going on ain't around here. Take an older road and a cooler full of beer. Right through the woods, then you look for the light. Down in the country, going down in the country tonight. Well, you roll through the gate and pull straight ahead, down past the house by the old shed. Redneck girls dance in the moonlight. Down in the country, going down in the country tonight. They got a bonfire burning, the best place for free. There's no place in the world that I'd rather be. Holding my baby on a Saturday night, but down in the country, going down in the country tonight. Well, I put my forward drive onto the tree, lit the tailgate down for my baby and me. I put my arm around her, then I hold her tight. Down in the country, going down in the country tonight. They got a whole hog cooking on top of the grill. They got moonshine, whiskey, reds out of the stew. Roll one
bada bum, bada